Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be going over my language goals for 2023. So I'm going to start off with some general language goals and then go into more language specific goals. The main goal I want to work on this year is to finish resources. And what I mean by that, I have the tendency to start say for example, a textbook, do one or two chapters, try a different resource, and with the intention of going back to that first resource and just not end up doing it. This in turn makes it quite difficult to gauge my level. My progress up to that point becomes really disjointed, and I don't really know what to study next, and it generally kind of derails progress. It kind of feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and I need to get out of that habit. So this year I really want to make sure if I start a book, I finish it. Then it just becomes a natural progression to go on to the next resource, and just generally it kind of feels like there's less gaps in my knowledge. A lot of the time, say for example with my Swedish, my reading comprehension's half decent. I would say it's kind of like intermediate level, but my production is pretty much non-existent. I could probably string a few things together, but because I haven't studied kind of like beginner resources that thoroughly, like kind of explicit grammar study, yeah, it's kind of all over the place. So now I kind of got to the stage where if I want to work on my production, I then have to go back to those beginner resources, which isn't particularly fun, I'm not particularly motivated to do, but it's a necessary evil. So from now on, kind of, work on that going forward. The next would be to study an average of 4 hours per day throughout the year. And that doesn't necessarily mean I have to study 4 hours every day, but just on average. This is mainly due to kind of disappointment of how much I've studied over the last 3 years. I've been tracking my study for the last 3 years, so I know exactly how much I have been studying. And yeah, it's just been nowhere near enough. I haven't progressed how much I wanted to in each language. I kind of jumped between languages and it's just ended up being pretty underwhelming. I've maintained some, improved in some, but others have pretty much like kind of rotted away. So if I can average 4 hours a day, that will roughly work out to about 1,500 hours throughout the year. And that would be twice as much as I've studied in total over the last 3 years. So if I can do that, great, and it's not something that if I don't manage exactly that amount, I won't be too distraught. Even if I got anywhere near that, then I would do a hell of a lot more than I've done so far. So yeah, it's if I can do it, great. So now on to language specific goals. My main focus of this year is going to be Korean. And I started Korean back in 2016, took it pretty seriously for around about 6 months. And then since then, it's been very on and off. I studied, in the last 3 years, I've studied about 60 hours, which obviously isn't a lot. So, but towards the end of last year, I did kind of get back onto it, and I'm really motivated to improve. So, yeah, I'm going to ideally sign up for a language class at some point this month, and yeah, I think that would be really good to make sure that I kind of give myself some structure. I think the main thing is having access to a teacher, to be honest, and just being able to ask questions on things I'm not sure on, things that are confusing. So I really don't have that at the moment, so that would be a massive bonus. Next is the TOPIK test, which is the test of proficiency in Korean, and I took that in October and passed level 2. So I'm looking at some point this year to pass either level 3 or 4. If I don't get 4, it won't be the end of the world. But as long as I can get 3 and kind of show tangibly that I've improved, that would be perfect. But in an ideal world, level 4 would be great, because that would mean I'm actually at a half decent level. So that's the ideal, but I'll settle for level 3 regardless. I've found myself really enjoying prepping for TOPIK, which is the complete opposite experience that I had with JLPT, which I'll talk about in a bit, which is the Japanese language proficiency test, and that I just find anxiety-inducing and stressful. But with TOPIK, for whatever reason, I quite enjoy. So yeah, that's why I'm going to be taking that again. Next would be language meetups. I did actually go to some language meetups in London, I think back in 2016 and 2017, and that was really good fun. I got to meet Korean people, got to meet people learning Korean, so like-minded people, and it was very motivating to actually turn up each week, improve, use those opportunities to speak to people. So I really need to do that again because I need to work on my production. I don't want to get to the point like I did with my Swedish where I can read, I can understand things, but then there's a massive kind of disparity between input and output. So that would be great. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly when. I think I have to be definitely more comfortable with my Korean than I am right now, but hopefully in the first quarter of the year. But I need to look around, see which ones there are, because they've changed since I last went. But yeah, that's definitely an aim for this year. As I said at the beginning, I'm looking to do around about 1,500 hours of language study in general, and I would like to have 1,000 of those hours go to Korean. It's quite ambitious, but definitely achievable. But the main thing that would do is really push my Korean way beyond what it's ever been, and actually to a half decent level. If I can stick to that, then yeah, I might even be able to make videos in Korean. I might be able to kind of like actually end up watching shows and reading books and have a lot more fun with the language rather than just explicit study. I can do a lot more kind of immersion, and that would be the ideal spot to get to. I think the big motivator this year for studying Korean is that I'm intending to go to Korea at some point this year. It's probably going to be towards the end of the year, and I'm not exactly sure how long for yet. I think that would be kind of a great end to kind of gauge where my level's at, push my level a bit further. And if I am to go, I'll probably go to a language school. So give myself another boost of the language, but also, yeah, actually experience the country. Because up to this point, I've never been. I've met Korean people in London, I've met Korean people in Japan. And yeah, I've heard lots of great things about it. I've watched videos about it, but I think it's time that I actually go, and I haven't traveled anywhere for a while. So yeah, looking forward to that. And obviously I'll go into more details as they kind of crop up and as I kind of flesh them out a bit more. But for now, yeah, it's just kind of at the first stages of planning. Next up is Japanese. And with Japanese, it's more or less do a lot more reading and do a lot more listening. And with listening, that can be podcasts, TV shows, YouTube videos, anything that's just getting practice, comprehensible input, and more or less enjoying myself. Japanese I've had kind of like a love-hate relationship with Japanese for a decent amount of years now. Every time I study it, I just kind of end up feeling pressure I should be good now, I should be good, because I've been studying it for a good amount of time. And my level isn't great even now, so just really have fun with it, to be honest, and push my listening level. I think that's kind of a big thing. My listening and my vocabulary is really lacking. So if I can improve them, yeah, I'll have a lot more fun with the language and hopefully actually get to a more, reach a level that I'm actually somewhat happy with. As I mentioned earlier, I have never really enjoyed taking the JLPT, but I may take it this year. I actually took it in December and awaiting the results. I took the N2, so the second highest level, but I don't think I did very well on it. I didn't study particularly hard for it, but took it as kind of a why not. It motivated me to start studying Japanese again. So yeah, we'll see the results of that. I doubt they'll be good. So I would be looking to get, if I am going to take it, get N2 this year, either in July or December. It's not really make or break if I pass it or not. I'm not planning to go to Japan just yet, but hopefully next year. So if I can just do the reading, do the listening, enjoy myself, my level will improve organically. And then this time round, I don't think I'll explicitly study for the test. I think I'll just go for the immersion kind of approach, get lots of comprehensible input, reading, listening, and then through that, try the test. But yeah, just try and have fun and try and fall in love with learning Japanese again. How much I'll actually end up doing with Japanese, I don't know. As I said, Korean is going to be my focus. But yeah, as long as I maintain and improve at least somewhat. With Swedish, right now, I don't really have any motivation to study it. I definitely will at some point this year, but probably not in the first quarter, as I want to really get the ball rolling with Korean. But I do really enjoy Swedish in general, and yeah, I'm sure at some point this year I will start studying it again. I've got so many books that I want to read at some point, and yeah, my level's not terrible. in terms of comprehension at least. So it'd be nice to get to a good level at some point, but it'll probably more realistically be next year as more of a focus. But for now, I'll probably kind of dip my toes in like every now and then. And lastly, German. German I probably won't be studying this year unless I end up going to Germany, which is a possibility. I might do like a short trip. But for the time being, Korean's definitely the focus. The next priority would be Japanese, and then after that it would be Swedish. So German is definitely one of those things that someday I want to speak good German, but for now it's just not a priority. But yeah, it's fun. It's on the list, but probably not right now. But that's pretty much where I am with my thinking for the year. There's kind of more intangible goals and more tangible goals, but overall, if I can tick most of the boxes by the end of the year, then I would be happy. So I need to stay motivated, and I need to be more diligent than I've been over the last 3 years, but I'm optimistic. So wish me good luck, and hopefully I'll see you soon. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye for now.